RX, RX, like prescription, RX, that's the symbol for retrograde. Cool. All right, welcome everybody. Happy new moon in Gemini. If you're new here, or if you're watching this on a replay and you don't quite know me yet, I'm Hallie Avolio, and it is my honor and privilege to have you join here today so we can talk about the new moon in Gemini. What does that mean? What is the energy we're feeling? How do we manifest in this time? We've got some good stuff going on. There's a couple of really cool things to note. Number one, if you've been feeling heavy energy, you should be happy to know that today marks the end of eclipse season. So we usually go through 2 primary eclipse seasons in a calendar year, and we just ended one. So our last full moon was if you remember, it was a blood moon, a full lunar eclipse, and there was a lot of really heavy energy associated with that Scorpio full moon. So the eclipse season for this cycle ends until we hit the fall. So our next eclipse pairing will happen in October, November timeframe. So that's one thing to note. The other thing is, as I mentioned before I hit record, was that Mercury ends its retrograde on June 3rd. So just a couple of days from now, 4 days from now. So we should be kind of on the upswing, which is really cool because this is also a very prosperous and lucky new moon. And a lot of new moons, the general intention and energy around a new moon is manifesting, is planting new seeds, is setting your intentions, is showing the fuck up in your life. So, and deciding how you want to move forward with this next 30-day lunar cycle. So this is a really cool moon for all of that. So hopefully your energy is feeling on the upswing, you're feeling good. And if you're not, hang tight, it's all good. I got you covered there too. And I'm sure you'll get there. So we've got a lot of cool cosmic energy things happening. And it could be why you feel extra drained. So absolutely, if you've been feeling tired, if you've been feeling moody, if you've been feeling like heaviness, for sure that like last part of eclipse season plus the end of the Mercury retrograde could absolutely be having a physical impact on you as well. It could also be germs, but it's, could be a combination. But hey, you know what? This is what I say. And many of you can attest to this. I say you get to decide what you are available for in your life. And if you are available for positive energy, if you're available for good health, if you're available for prosperity and abundance, then that is what you are calling in. So focus on that energy and moving the needle forward in your best essence in this new moon. That's what's really going to help you move the needle. All right. So let's pull an affirmation card from the Sassy AF affirmation card deck to just call in some universal energy, universal love. See what the intention is for today from the cards, and then we'll pop into meditation. By the way, if you're new to meditating, don't worry, I got you covered. All you need to do is trust me and close your eyes and breathe. We'll keep it super simple. All right, let's see what our affirmation is for this new moon in Gemini spirit circle. I mean, it couldn't be better. I illuminate all of my amazingness. It really couldn't be better. I illuminate all of my amazingness. So if that like gets you excited, yay. Notice where you feel that in your body. Write down the words if you like those ones. Take a screenshot if you want. I'll hold that up. I think it's probably reversed, but you'll get the gist. Sorry, it's blurry. I illuminate all of my amazingness. We'll come back to that one. All right, I'm switching tones here. We are moving into, let me turn this up a tiny bit. Lindsay, can you hear the sound? I see you on the sound of the music is good? Thumbs up? Okay, cool. So this frequency that we're gonna do our meditation with is a 741 Hertz. And it is for healing and for opening up and releasing any blocks, particularly in the throat chakra, which is what we're going to be working with today as we are in our planet and moon of communication. But for right now, I just want us all to drop into this moment, drop into this energy. So just roll your shoulders back and down. Get comfy wherever you're seated. If you want to lay down, whatever feels comfortable for you. Tilt your neck from side to side, maybe up and down. Draw circles with your nose. Maybe reverse that if it feels good to you. Start to notice your breath. Feel the air go in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. Allow your body to relax. And just be here in this moment. As you inhale, deepen the relaxation in your body. And on the exhale, release any negative thoughts. As we settle into our bodies, take this opportunity to surround yourself in love and positive energy. On this new moon, you are beginning. You are starting fresh. And you are full of opportunities to step into all of your desires. With each breath, let go of the past. Let go of what happened yesterday. Breathe into this moment and be present with your body. And allow yourself to dream big into the future. With this new cycle of energy, remember you have every opportunity to become exactly who you are. Maybe you are seeking a new friend or a new hobby. Or maybe there is a new habit you intend to start with this new moon. Allow yourself to honor where you are in this moment and to hold space for how far you have come. As you breathe, nourish yourself. Feel your body with that beautiful breath. Inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to dream and set intentions. Allow yourself to imagine. Allow yourself to reach for the stars. Release any fear. Release any anxiety. What no longer serves you falls away. I stand here anew, I embrace what is to be. As we take 3 breaths together, we will inhale the words, I begin today. And on the exhale, I trust the process. Inhale, I begin today. And exhale, I trust the process. Inhale, I begin today. And exhale, I trust the process. Last time, inhale, I begin today. And exhale, I trust the process. Place your hands on your heart and allow for one beautiful cleansing breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. Oh, that was a good one. That felt good to me. Happy new moon. Happy new moon. Let me pull up my notes. All right. So let's talk about the new moon in Gemini. There's a lot going on right now, and so much of it is in the essence and the energy of prosperity and abundance and feeling really good in our bodies. And, you know, the weather's getting really nice. It's getting warm. We're heading into summer if we're in the Northern Hemisphere. And things start to feel a little bit more relaxed, maybe a little bit more fluid. Maybe you're planning a vacation coming up in the next couple of months. Maybe you have, you know, some outdoor activities that you're looking forward to. So really start to play around with this energy in a space of, how can I be more open to possibilities? And how can I be more accepting of luck and prosperity and abundance and good things coming my way? So Gemini, in case you're not familiar, which is totally fine, is the planet of, is ruled by the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communications, what it's known for. That's why we were talking about the Mercury in retrograde, which kind of can throw communication off. And Gemini is marked by the twins. So we've got a lot of energy, and there's also a little bit of confusion going on. And I've talked to a few of you about this already, but I want you to just really kind of embrace this energy of confusion and potential chaos as an exciting opportunity, an exciting energy of confusion. So this isn't like anxious energy or negative energy. It's more of, think about like if you have 2 really exciting events going on in your life, and both of them are getting you equally excited. You can't really divide your attention between either because you're really equally excited about both. Maybe you have a vacation coming up, and maybe you also have a really fun party that you're looking forward to. And both of these things are creating, you know, excitement and positive energy and a flow within you that you're just like, oh my gosh, there's so much fun stuff coming on. That's kind of the energy of Gemini. A lot of fun, positive, but also a little bit confusing because it's like, oh, where do I put my energy? How do I get myself grounded? How do I, you know, plant my feet? How do I feel calm and centered, even when I've got this, this kind of uptick of excitement and positive energetic vibrations happening? So you can also leverage this kind of churning that's happening energetically as a time to expand and to learn more. And especially when it comes to communication. So one of the big themes here that we want to really consider and talk about is how can you be more open and, taking into account both your own perception of the way the world is and also other people's perspectives. How can you be open-minded to learning new things and also holding on to what you believe in? How can you have more engaged conversations that are fluid with the communication, as in it's a back and forth stream, a back and forth flow, where you can both speak your truth and also be open to receiving what someone else might be offering that may be contradictory or maybe in conflict. And that's okay. Because in this energy, that doesn't feel negative. It doesn't feel like it's causing unrest necessarily. It's more causing a sense of curiosity, as in, tell me more about that. Tell me why you feel that way. Can you share with me your perspective? Because I really want to learn, and I want to maybe unlearn some of the ways that I've previously thought of this particular path. So when we talk about, this kind of influx of information, influx of energy, this confusion, this chaos, it's really kind of a churning of communication strategies, everybody coming together and sharing. And so then you have to discern for yourself what's important, what are your takeaways, what are you learning, what are you unlearning, and how are you showing up in your most authentic truth in all of this. That may sound like a lot. So that you may find right now, I noticed a couple of people talking about, being up in the middle of the night, your brain kind of like on, and just running. So that's also very common in this kind of confusion, chaotic sort of energy. So one of the things that you really want to be mindful of is, how do you get grounded? So Gemini, even though Gemini is an air sign, we also want to not float away, not be caught up in all the air, but we want to get ourselves back connected on the ground. So if you are feeling like you can't get grounded, you feel too chaotic within yourself that you can't even hold on to your thoughts, your mind is racing, do some grounding exercises. So for example, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I went on a walk, and I'm very lucky because where I live, there's this beautiful kind of eucalyptus forest, and then it takes me out to the bluffs and I can overlook the ocean. So I have this really gorgeous, natural landscape basically right in my backyard. And I was out for a really long time, and I could feel the sun on my body. And I walked on different paths. So there was like more of a hardened dirt path. And then I was walking through more of like a soft kind of mulchy sort of path. And, at one point I was right there on the edge of the bluffs looking over at the ocean. And, a few moments later, I was surrounded in these beautiful eucalyptus trees with the sun shining through. And for me, that was super, super grounding, and just brings me back to this place of center and connection to the earth, and definitely calms my thoughts, calms my body, and lets me just get into my being. So if you are feeling kind of chaotic and confusion, get out in nature, put your feet on the earth, literally ground yourself. If you're somewhere where you feel comfortable laying on the ground, if you have, a lawn that you like to lay down on, or maybe on the beach somewhere, or, anywhere you like to lay down, get your body as on the ground as possible. And I think that will help get you centered, help get you to a place of more consciousness, so that you can start to take those thoughts that you have and really process, what do I need to pull out? What's important right now? Another good practice to calm your mind is breath work, especially since Gemini is an air sign. So using a breath work practice, even just a simple inhale and exhale, but really being consciously connected to it, and really just going as slow as possible on the inhale and as slow as possible on the exhale, and allowing your body to come into itself. So Gemini is a very social sign. And if you have Gemini in your chart, you might vibe with this, be like, yeah, I love being around people. I love being in that energy. So this is an interesting one, especially in the context of what we've all been experiencing, over the last couple of years, where we've been in a state of isolation to different degrees. And now as people are starting to get together more, starting to have gatherings, starting to be more in person together, you might really find that you're embracing this kind of collective social experience, and it feels really good to be with other people. So that, comes out in Gemini as well. Now, when we're with other people, as opposed to just going inward and being by ourselves, it can also, stir the pot in terms of you have to then, be mindful of everybody's like social behaviors and how do you show up and how are you showing up as yourself in connection with other people. So again, this kind of, the twins of Gemini ask us to say, how do we show up in a group, being a social being, enjoying that social interaction, but also how do we stay true to self and really stay in our authentic energy so that we're not compromising our integrity and compromising who we truly are when we're in a group. Because I know we've all been there, right? Like you go to a party or maybe a meeting or something, and you find yourself being a chameleon and trying to fit in and trying to adapt to everybody else in the room. And sometimes you leave when you've done that in a situation, you're like, well, shit, that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. I had this expectation or this intention of coming to this event. And because I was so accommodating to everybody else's desires, needs, words, energies, I didn't get to really experience it the way that I had intended or wanted to experience it. So use this beautiful energy of Gemini to both enjoy the other and enjoy yourself, and being free to be confident in your communication, that you can ask the questions. If someone is kind of challenging you on something, maybe they're asking your opinion. I have a dear friend who actually is my husband's best friend. And I love him. And he often will say things like, if he asks your opinion about something, or if you would express an opinion about something, then he'll kind of explain more. Tell me what you mean about that, right? He won't just let it go. He'll just kind of like keep going and going. So you like have the onion being pulled back. And I remember the first time we had a conversation, he did this to me. I was kind of taken aback, like, what? I have to explain myself? Is this a test? How do I know if I'm giving the right answer? But I realized that it's really about speaking my truth. And he's a very curious person. So he just wants to know where everybody's coming from. He wants to understand so that he can learn for himself, which is very much the essence of this Gemini energy, is how can you be open to listening to someone else's perspective? How can you hear somebody else from a place of true compassion, empathy, and understanding? It's also a really powerful opportunity for you to think about your own sense of communication. So think about communication for a minute. We don't just communicate with our words, even though that's super powerful, but we communicate with our body language. We communicate through our creativity. We communicate with our energetic vibrations, right? There's many ways that we communicate. So start to play around with, how do you communicate? How do other people know how you are feeling? How do other people know what your intentions are? Here's a fun one. How do other people know you? As in, if you meet someone for the first time, this is the very first time you've ever met them, you're having some sort of an interaction. How do they walk away from that interaction knowing who you are to the best of their ability? What have you expressed to them that's given them enough information, enough clues, enough energy that they can really say, oh yeah, I know what he or she is about. I get that person. I like that person. So something to think about. And in that exercise, ask yourself, do I show up as my true self? Do I even know? Do I know who I am? Do I know what my true self is? Does that mean something to me? Because, and if you've been with me for a little bit, you've heard this before, so this will not be new, but I spent a good long amount of time not knowing who I was. And because I didn't know who I was, I would show up accommodating everyone else. And I was so fun and I was so good at adapting and just like being the life of the party and all the things, which I still am, by the way. I'm still very fun and the life of the party, but in my own way now, right? But in the past, I would do it to make sure that everybody else felt comfortable. I would make sure that everybody else had their needs met and it wasn't about, my needs being met. So use this energy of Gemini to say, yeah, what is this for me? How do I show up for me? How do I show up authentically? How do I communicate that clearly? What else do I want to tell you about this? Oh, this is cool. Okay. So, let's talk about luck and prosperity and abundance, because I know that's always that's a fun one. Everyone wants to talk about that. So we have a boost of expansion going on right now cosmically as well. So both Mars and Jupiter are in the planet of Aries, are in the sign of Aries. I keep saying the planet, but in the sign of Aries. Aries is about authentic self, is about showing up boldly and courageously. And Mars is about your passions, and Jupiter is about your expansion and your abundance. So another prominent energy going on right now is that as you're, really leaning into your communication, opening up your throat chakra, giving yourself permission to both see things clearly, speak things clearly, give yourself permission to say, okay, let's get real. How am I being expansive? What am I manifesting? What abundance do I want to attract into my life? And with Mars, I've got this passion, this fire, right? And now I've got courage from Aries. So I'm going after anything the fuck I want to go after. I am bold. I feel confident. I'm like, yes, this is all available to me. There is no doubt. There is no struggle. This is for me. It's already done. And that energy feels really, really good. Does that feel good to you guys? I'm seeing some heads nodding. So ask yourself, what does my soul want? The ultimate question, right? What does my soul want? And if you don't know the answer, that's absolutely fine. It's all feedback, right? So if you don't know, if I say to you, what does your soul want? You're like, I don't know. Is this a trick question? Totally fine. It's actually really great. Because if you can identify, I don't know what my soul wants, then great. You've got a starting off point. You have a clean slate to start asking yourself these questions. Let's get curious. What are some possible things that my soul might want? You can go down the list. You can run through the possibilities. You can start to play around. Does this feel good? Nah, that doesn't feel good. Does this feel good? Ooh, that feels a little better. I'm going to lean into that. I'm going to play around with it. Right. And if you know what your soul wants, if you're like, fuck yes, I know exactly what I want. I see myself living this life. I see myself in these relationships. I see myself thriving in this way. Then go after it. Do not stop yourself. Because really the only thing that ever stops you is you, right? The only thing that ever stops any of us is ourselves, because we can go after anything we want and there is always a way. We don't need to know all the details, all the how. That will happen. That will manifest in the way that it's meant to. But if you don't believe it's possible, if you don't give yourself the permission, the energy, the audacity to go after it, then it's done. You're not getting it. So give yourself that green light. Have you guys heard of, I hate this term. It just gives me a really weird imagery, but BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. I know I see a couple faces like, I don't want to talk about anything being hairy. So here's the deal. I'm changing it up for my purposes and I'm calling it big, beautiful fucking dreams. I mean, it doesn't have as nice of like a little acronym, but big, beautiful fucking dream sounds a lot better for me. So that's what I say go after. And if you prefer to call it a BHAG, go for it. I just don't want anything hairy happening in my situation. I am not available for that. So What are your big, beautiful fucking dreams? What are they? Take this new moon as you set your intentions, as you write down your wishes and your manifestations, and challenge yourself to go beyond what you may have thought was possible. I don't care what it is, because look, there's nobody to say that you can't have whatever it is you want. Do you think Elon Musk said, well, I kind of want Twitter, but I don't think I can have it? I don't think so. He's like, fuck no, I want Twitter. I'm going to fucking buy it. Right? He goes after what he wants. Everybody who gets what they want goes after what they want without apologies. And if I don't know, that is an awesome question. And if I don't know, then you have a beautiful place to start from. If I don't know, what do I want? You got to start to ask yourself the question. You got to start to ask yourself the question. And here's the thing. There's no, how do I say this? You don't have to go after something that you think other people think you should have. For example, if you think that the best life that you're going to live is based on making a certain amount of money and living in a certain size home and driving a certain size car and going on certain types of vacations, if you think that that's like what you should be manifesting, but it doesn't resonate with you, you're like, no, that doesn't feel, that's not me, then that's okay. That's not you. When I talk about going after your big, beautiful fucking dreams, I want you to go after what brings you the ultimate joy in your life. And that can literally be anything. And it doesn't have to be a material item. It's the intention behind this is, if you were to wake up every single morning and live a life that brought you the ultimate joy, what does that life look like? And start there. Ask yourself that question. Give yourself permission to say, my ultimate joy would be ... And it could be something simple. It could be, my ultimate joy would be to sleep in until 9 every day and then take, a 2-hour walk and do an hour of yoga and have somebody prepare a meal for me and have somebody to cuddle with by the fireplace at night. That could be your ultimate joy. And that's absolutely fucking beautiful. And each of us have the opportunity to dream about anything we want to dream about. The point is to give yourself permission to lean into whatever it is that you desire and to not cut yourself off because of other people's expectations or ideals or limitations that they have put on you. So that's really kind of the essence of this expansiveness in this particular new moon is, how do I lean into what makes me feel my ultimate joy? And is that in alignment? Thank you, Lindsay. I see that for in that comment. Beautiful. Is this in alignment with my core values? And if we work together, you know about my, how much weight I put on core values, how important they are to this work and to this spiritual practice and to really understanding who you are. And if you are not familiar with your core values or want to know more about that, reach out to me and I'll share more with you. But you have to be in alignment with who you truly are. And if you don't know, that's absolutely okay. You might not. We're also shifting, right? We are dynamic. We're not stagnant. So who you are is going to have ebbs and flows, just like everything else. So keep asking yourself these questions. Gemini wants us to be curious. That's the part of these twins. They're curious. They want to know more information. They want to figure out amongst the confusion and chaos what feels good, what feels in alignment. And that's kind of the essence of this energy. So I love this. So one of the people that I follow, Spirit Daughter, I love her wisdom. I love what she has to say astrologically, energetically, etc. But this is what she said about general Gemini wisdom. So here are some nuggets. Communication comes in many forms. There are always two sides. Change your perspective, change your world. And what you speak, you manifest. I thought that was pretty cool. Ooh, and it's 4:44 as I say that, my time. So let me share with you some journal prompts that you can work with on this new moon. And I'm going to pop them into the chat. And then, like I said, they will be on the follow-up in a PDF document. And I would work with these journal prompts over the next 2 weeks until the next full moon in Sagittarius. With these journal prompts in particular, and with the affirmations that I'm going to share in a moment, really think about your communication style. If you prefer to speak these out loud as opposed to handwriting them, cool, do that. Lean into your communication style. That would be an invitation in this new moon in particular. So here are the journal prompts. And I think, Veronica, this will also help kind of tap into some of these questions that you're having. How can I communicate more freely to myself and to others? As I listen to my soul's calling, where is it leading me? What actions am I inspired to take? What is something I can change my perspective about, and how will it help me be more mindful? What have I been judging myself for? What have I been judging others for? How can I release this judgment so I feel more grounded and centered? I didn't bring up judgment, but judgment, of course, is a big part of communication and how we communicate with ourselves, how we communicate with others. So if we can step out of the space of judgment, because the reality is we all judge at some point, at some time, and really be the conscious observer of our judgment, it will give us some really powerful insight. And what are my big, beautiful, limitless dreams, or big, beautiful fucking dreams? Well, either one works. The sky is the limit. What am I most passionate and excited about? Be specific. And you might want to, by the way, if you are like, I don't really know, I'm not sure, I don't even know where to begin, start to think about the things that just make you feel good. As in, like, what are the emotions that you like to feel the most? Like joy, love, happiness. Maybe you really love to laugh. Maybe you love to move your body. Like, what are the things that start to light you up? So you can even just list a whole bunch of things and then lean into, oh, what helps me get there? Like, what is something I love laughing? What helps me laugh? You know, how does that come out for me? And how does that make me feel really good? All right, let me give you some affirmations. Laughter. I love laughing, man. Can I tell you guys, this is so cute. So my daughter and I have a little ritual. When she goes to bed at night, I go in and I like say goodnight to her. And we have just the two of us. We just sit there by her bed. You know, she's in her bed and I'm like on the floor. And we're always just kind of talking about kind of the end of the day, whatever we're talking about. And I don't know, most nights something comes up and she's in a relaxed state, I'm in a relaxed state, and I'm just fucking hilarious. So I just say something funny and she just starts laughing and then I start laughing. We've been doing this since she was a baby, by the way. And the two of us just get going and going and going. We're just hilarious and we're just laughing. And then we get to the point where she's like, I can't breathe, I'm laughing so hard. And this is like a regular occurrence and it's so fun. And it's like one of my favorite things. And then she's like, Mom, I can't breathe. And I'm like, but we're having so much fun. Not that I don't want her to breathe, but you get my point. But I was thinking last night, you know, I was saying goodnight to her and I'm standing in her doorway and I'm trying to like say goodnight and she's like hysterically laughing. So I keep like moving my head in and out of the door frame. It's fun. It feels good, right? So to me, laughter is like the ultimate joy. So how can I bring more laughter into my life? How can I surround myself with people that make me laugh? How can I, you know, elevate that energy through laughter? Because to me, that feels really, really good. All right, I have some affirmations for you. Here we go. I am consciously co-creating with the universe to claim my desires. I am divinely co-creating magic and limitless possibilities with the universe. I will not settle for less than my ultimate joy. I communicate with confidence, power, and intention. And I trust my intuition to guide my expansion. So again, if you want to copy those out of the chat, they will be in the follow-up as well. But say these, you know, say these affirmations, the ones that work for you, of course, play around with the words. The words have to feel good to you. If they don't feel good to you, then it's not for you, and that's fine. But play around with the words, use these affirmations, speak them out loud, write them down, put them under your pillow, Say them before you go to bed at night, write them in your journals, put them on your mirrors, record it in a voice audio for yourself. There's lots of ways to work with the affirmations. And then, of course, I illuminate all of my amazingness. That goes right in line with all of those. All right, before we move into oracle cards, which I pulled out animals because I just felt like animals felt good today. Does anyone have any questions? I just want to peek in the chat real quick to see if there were any questions that I missed. And if you have any others, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Lindsay, I love what you said. Intuition will not steer us wrong. That is true. We also have to give ourselves permission to listen to our intuition. I know for a long time, I didn't know that I was intuitive, which feels crazy because I live so much of my life based on my intuition, but I didn't trust it and I hadn't played around with it. I just didn't even know that it was there. So sometimes we have to start to get curious about our intuitive guidance. And here's the takeaway is we are all intuitive beings, every single one of us. It's like a muscle that you have to put a little work into. And the more you practice it, the more that you will feel it. And somebody said this the other day, I can't remember who it was, but I thought it was so brilliant, is intuition is not going to hit you over the head with like a 2x4. It's not going to smack you and be like, boom, there it is. Intuition is like a whisper, an inkling, a slight nudge. It's subtle. And the more that you can pay attention and be centered and grounded in your being, the more that you'll be available to experience those nudges, those inklings. So give yourself that opening to do so. And my husband just built me shelves next to my desk, which I'm super excited about. So a lot of my books, I read a lot on the Kindle, but I do have 2 books that I recommend about intuition in case you're interested. This one called Intuitive Being by Jill Willard. I like this book because she connects it to the chakras. So I think that's cool. And the other one I recommend on intuition is called Radical Intuition by Kim Chesney. And this is a great book. What I love about this book is that she breaks it down into the different ways that we can tap into our intuition. It's not just one way. So she talks about getting intuitive hits visually and creatively and how it comes into our lives in lots of ways. So those are two recommendations. And I am such a bookworm. So if you ever need a book recommendation, let me know. Let's see. You need the books. Yes. I need to listen to my intuition. I go against it so much. It's all part of the self-doubt I struggle with. Well, that is absolutely normal. I think that many people here can relate to that. And you are free to let it go. As soon as you decide, right, that you're willing to let it go, you can let it go. Sometimes it almost sounds like too easy, but it really is. Okay, let's do some oracle cards. So if you've never done an oracle card before, just get to lean into your intuition right now. We're just going to practice right now in this moment, doing some intuition. As in, I'm going to show you 3 cards and you're going to just go with your gut reaction. Like, which one do I want? 1, 2, 3, boom. Put your favorite number in the chat. I'm going to pick 3 to pull cards from the deck. While I shuffle, drop your numbers in the deck. All right, 11, 4, and 8. Perfect. I love it. Those are the numbers. Okay. The deck is shuffled. All right, I'm going to pull the 11th card. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the good news is I already pulled out 4 and 8 on the way to 11. So cool. That was fun. It feels like we're playing lotto. Totally. We're playing spiritual lotto right now. Okay. So I've got 3 cards, the 11th one from the deck, the 4th card from the deck, and the 8th card. I'm going to hold them up. The backs are all the same. See which one you're called to. This is 11. There's no wrong answer. Go with your intuition. We're practicing right now. See, this is practical application. This is card 4. And this is card 8. And now you get to all see my new manicure. Okay, once again, 11, 4, and 8. By the way, 11 is also one of my favorite numbers. And every time I say 11, I can't stop thinking about the movie This Is Spinal Tap. Please tell me that somebody gets that reference. Okay, good, good, good. I'm glad. It goes to 11. Just cracks me up every time. I mean, this is like my brain multiple times a day. All right. Anyway, on that note, so with these cards, I want to make a note that if I turn them over and they're upside down, it gives us what we call a contrary message. So that just gives us some more insight to play around with. So if you were card 11, it came upside down. So I'm going to turn it around, but I'm going to tell you both meanings. So it is the deer for love. So this was card 11. And if you did not choose 11, but this resonates with you, then you can also have it. There are no rules. You get to decide the rules. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. And I just want to share like my intuitive guidance on this card in particular as it relates to the new moon in Gemini is the more that we can be communicative and open with ourselves and with others, the more that we can be in the energy of love. And really, love is the ultimate emotional experience, in my opinion. And let me tell you about the contrary, which will give us some additional insight. So these are just some questions to ask yourself. So if this was your card, ask yourself these kind of follow-up questions. Have you forgotten your need for a safe haven? Are you bounding ahead of yourself? Slow down. Is your digestion affected by too many foods? Eat simply. And set boundaries and do not allow abuse. So again, the contrary would be if you've been doing things that were kind of against the energy of love and against this energy of the deer, those would be the contrary questions. All right, let's do card 4, also upside down. We've got all the upside downs today. Ooh, this one's cute. Frog for prosperity. Cool. That goes right in line with what we were just talking about, especially with Mars and Jupiter being in Aries right now. And it says, let go of the past and embrace change. I mean, that's pretty aligned right there. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. Ooh, that's a good one. They're all good. But let me tell you the contrary on that. So if frog was your card, have you lost your focus by jumping around too much? Are you stuck in the muck of others' negativity? Are you feeling swamped? Let frog energy cleanse and renew you. Perfect for the new moon. And hop away from any negativity. So again, you know, we talk about this new moon being about prosperity and abundance and having that element that goes along with it. And any new moon is really a chance to begin anew, new beginnings, new opportunities, abundance. So take time, especially in the next couple of days, to really set your intentions for manifesting whatever it is that you desire in this new moon. Little or big, by the way. It could be something little. Like, you know, the last one talked about, you know, eating healthful foods and whatnot. Your little thing that you're manifesting could be, I'm going to eat intuitively and eat healthfully to nourish my body, for example. All right, if you were card 8, also upside down. I love it. It's like cool synchronicities here. Oh, this is beautiful. I see a lot of these actually where I live. Heron for patience. Ooh, I know somebody who loves this word. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. There's our renewal again. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. So this reminds me of something that I shared earlier this week that said, you know, something to the effect of, you know, the universe is not in a hurry, you are. Slow the fuck down. It didn't say that part. I'm just adding that part. But basically, be patient. Everything happens in the time that it's meant to. So if this was your card, take that to heart, because really, if you can be patient, if you can step out of these linear timelines that we like to put on everything, that can set us up for failure because we get ourselves frantic and flurried and like, oh my God, this didn't happen in the time that I thought it was meant to. Well, how do you know that? How do you know that it didn't happen exactly in the time that it's meant to? So patience, everything will happen in the time that it's meant to. Trust that. And that's where the surrender bit comes in, which, by the way, if you're in Next Level You, we'll be talking about that this week in class. Okay, the contrary aspect of this particular card, don't let your introspection turn into self-criticism. That's a really important one. It's really good to be introspective, but don't let it turn into self-criticism. Don't let your frustration with others' inadequacies swamp your joy of living. Have you forgotten your need for solitude and quiet? And then finally, take some time alone to find balance. So maybe, you know, maybe with Gemini, you've been like super social butterfly, and now you need to find a little stillness by yourself. Do a little bit of inward reflection. So those are our oracle cards. Cool. And we're right on the nose at time. So that's awesome. I will share these as well in the follow-up. So if you have any questions about them, let me know. As always, I love any feedback, comments, things that come up for you. Like, oh, that was so cool when you said blah, blah, blah. I had this major aha moment. So please do reach out to me. Another quick thing that I often forget to say is immediately after class, you're going to get a reminder email that says like, please rate and review. So if you have a moment to do so, that's really helpful. I appreciate that. And our next full moon is in Sagittarius. That event will be on June 13th. It's a Monday. Oh, same as, I think it's the same time. It's exactly 2 weeks from today on a Monday at the same time, same place. And if you have any questions about any of it, let me know and I'll send the follow-up so you can journal, you can affirm, you can do all the things. Oh, a couple of new moon rituals that you might want to participate in. So set your intentions. And when you set them down, when you write them, I would also speak them out loud since this is our month of communication. So write them and then speak them so you can also hear them. That's a really cool practice with this particular new moon. We talked about beginning a breathwork practice. So if that calls to you, maybe start that every morning, you know, do a little bit, do 5 minutes or so of breath work. Just inhale, exhale, keep it simple. We talked about the crystals that open the throat chakra. So blue ones, aquamarine, sodalite, chrysocolla, lapis lazuli, amazonite. There's probably other ones out there, but those are a few. And then tap into your social, get together with some friends, be social, have fun, and also be safe while doing it. I just had to add that in. That was my own little addition there. Okay. Well, happy new moon. Big love to everybody. Thank you for joining. I look forward to seeing you for the full moon and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye.